I feel like this. A lot of you have new romantic prospects trying to come into the picture for you. But I'm sensing that you're not clearly like freed from a relationship partner. So you might be, for example, getting separated. You might be thinking about getting separated while you're living in different households, or you might even be completely separated and still sharing responsibilities, still living in the same place, or or it's complicated. Okay, so I feel like all of that is really affecting new relationships that are trying to come through, new people that are trying to make offers to you. And so, aim for a more clean cut energy in your relationship sector. So this message is coming in as, in juxtaposition to the first message, which is that you're frustrated about unfinished business. But at the same time, your relationship sector, it seems to me like there needs to be a lot of, loose ends to tie up. And I definitely feel that you are in a position to do it yourself. And so aim for that clean cut, black or white, yes or no type of energy that that makes you comfortable, and apply that to your relationship. Is it done or is it not? And be very resolute. Okay. The third message I have here is, I feel like a lot of you have recently, like separated or had, there was like a communication breakdown with a significant person. And I feel like it might be a child of yours or somebody in your household environment. So it could be a partner, it could be a child. It's somebody that I feel like that you hold very close to your heart. And for whatever reason, there's a lot of stress, worries, and anxieties about how they perceive you. And I feel like you're beating yourself up over not just one incident, but over a series of incidences that have occurred, that has spanned years. And so you're feeling a little bit like you're feeling guilt, I'm sensing, for some of you. And I feel like you want to rebuild that relationship, but they're not giving you, they're not giving you that clear, open communication, channel of communication, so that you can reach out to them. And I feel like they're very evasive when you want to talk. They might say like, "Oh, leave a message or text me," because I feel like it's not that they're conflict avoidant. I feel like they want to have. I'm sensing, especially if you're dealing with children, I'm sensing that they want you to have everything written down on paper, because in lifetime, like if it's a phone call, for example, they might react in a way that's out of character. So they want to have a little bit of time to think about it first before they respond. So I feel like for some of you, it might be estrangement from children, and not having, that open, clear channel of communication with them. And so you want to fix things, you want to rebuild, but I feel like I feel almost as if this is a situation that really hurts you. And I'm sensing, an apology. Honestly, an apology is going to go a long way. Okay. So I feel that some of you might need to let down your pride and just suck it up and apologize. And I know that, with dealing with children especially, okay, it is really important for us to see the bigger picture here. And you're really usually very good at big picture stuff. But I'm sensing that, the other person knows how to push your buttons. And so my thing here is, if it's a family member, if it's a child, you have to apologize. Okay. That's going to allow that open, channel communication to open up. And so that you both can repair things, and that you don't have to be the only one to single-handedly fix things. They're in on it as well, but that channel of communication needs to be reopened. Last message I have for you guys. First of all, I'm feeling almost as if they're saying here difficulties when it comes to communication. So I feel like what they mean is not that you have difficulties communicating, but it's almost like if communication has not been your forte, or if you feel like you're in a holding cell or in a holding pattern when it comes to communicating with another person, it's like you communicate one way, they understand it to mean another way. And if you have not gained any traction whenever you both, try to compromise, try to negotiate with one another, I feel as if it's important for you to change tactic, okay? So focusing heavily on communication and being very deliberate and very, very direct, and, don't go off on tangents. Just be very, very direct. Come into a communication situation with points that you want to get across, bullet points, so that you keep yourself on track. So if the situation has been problematic and you feel like you're not making traction, you're not getting your voice heard, or the other person is not listening to you, it's really important to not get frustrated, but to come to it with bullet points so that you keep yourself on track and you don't go off on tangents, on segues, and not be able to find your way back. And it's going to make you a more effective speaker overall. Okay. So that's going to be really important coming through for this month. And I feel like you might be dealing with some people that are heavily affected, like negatively affected by the Mercury in retrograde cycle. And so the more concise and the more directed and the more organized you are with your thoughts, the better the conversation is going to go. Okay. So I feel like you have some really important conversations, job interviews even, work performance evaluation even. And I feel like you have a lot of important meetings that are taking place for this month. And I feel like your future financially might depend on it. So it's really important to come to the table with your very clear, solid, and valid speaking points so that you don't get yourself off track, so that you address whatever it is that, they're asking you, okay? So having said that, let's go into your reading here, Sagittarius. So let me talk about your relationship sector, because it seems it's making me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So in your relationship sector, this is an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. And let's talk about this person as a romantic interest, okay? I feel like you have dealt with this person for a myriad of years. So like a number of years, and also through many, thick and thin type of circumstances. So this is an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. They are somebody who's very persuasive. They do something with communication for a living. I feel like they have a lot of influence, a lot of sway, and a lot of people like them, okay? And when they show up in the reverse position, this is when their power of persuasion, this is when their gift of the gab is kind of like turning on you, where they want you to do a specific way, and they might resort to manipulation. They might resort to, distorting the truth in order to get you to do something that they want. And I feel like communication with this person is going to go awry for this month. And a lot of it has to do with their inability to, I feel like hone in on a specific talking point. Their inability to, it's almost like dragging up the past when you're discussing about a problem in the present time. And I feel like they're losing track. They're a little bit scattered. And so it's really difficult for you to handle this energy. You like to fix problems, Sagittarius. And I feel like when somebody is coming through and they're all frazzled, it makes you frazzled. And so I feel like you have a partner that is like this, that you have to contend with. And I feel like they might be prone to exaggeration. They're very intelligent, but I feel like they might be prone to exaggeration. And so because they have exaggerated in the past, or they might have told, a few lies here and there in the past, you don't really know how much you can trust them anymore. So I feel this energy coming through, and I feel almost as if you see the best in this person and you give them the benefit of the doubt, and you almost want to give them second chances. But your patience is kind of running thin with this person, okay? Your patience is wearing out. And so I can't tell you to be patient here because I feel like the way they have conducted themselves is a little bit questionable. And this is something that you know to be true in the past, okay? I feel like this is going to be a communication with relationship partners. It's coming through very strongly for you both to just hash out whatever has been kind of like swept under the rug, whatever has been minimized or downsized or, just like whatever you both have been in denial about. I feel like it's really important this month to get to the heart of the matter, to try to understand what exactly happened, to try to flush out the truth, because I feel like somebody is withholding information on purpose. And the other person has an intuition that something's off. So it could be from your end or from their end. The other person has the other person's radar is picking up that, oh, there is some hidden information. And I feel like this is an ongoing cyclical thing. It's happening right now in Mercury in retrograde so that you both can address it and then move on from it, okay? So don't leave things in gray areas that tend to make you uncomfortable. And I feel like them as well. And so hash it out once and for all and try to, move on from this. Your financial situation, I feel it is heavily linked up with another person. And I feel almost as if on your own, some of you might not be able to make it, or you feel like you might not be able to make it. And so you might cling on to a relationship because of the security. But I feel like it's a false sense of security because I'm sensing that you're making great strides. The work sector seems to me to be, it's like stable. And I do sense as well, you take great pride in being able to take care of yourself, being independent and being self-sufficient. So if your financial situation is linked up with another person, I do feel that you're kind of like in a ebb and flow cycle where financially you're not able to achieve security, and that worries you a little bit, okay? So be careful about frivolous spending. I'm sensing for some of you, there might be a little bit of preparation for a divorce, for a settlement, or even for a separation from a romantic partner. And there might be finances that are unaccounted for. So money squirreled away, inheritances that are not included in the picture. So if you have financial entanglements with another person, and it is also tax season in the States, it might be problematic for you, okay? And I feel like you might need to deal with this with a partner or with like children as well. So I feel like, there's some financial entanglements here. It gets a little bit confusing, and it's going to be a source of contention for your family unit, okay? What I feel in terms of your communication, and this is coming through in a way that is really good, okay? It looks very, very good. They're telling you, I'm looking at this combination here. Somebody is upset and the other person is very calm, okay? So the energy for communication overall is do not fight fire with fire. Aim to be very, very grounded. When the other person is frazzled, you need to be the voice of reason, and vice versa. When you yourself are frazzled, the other person needs to be able to compartmentalize information, to be able to be a lot more systematic with how they access and filter and process information. And it sounds easier said than done, but they're telling you people might be a little bit irritated, frustrated in your work environment. And so it's really important for you to have to calm them down. So that means being very grounded yourself, and asking them follow-up questions, de-escalating tension, because I feel like this is the energy that they're bringing to the table, and you need to be very, very stoic, very calm and collected so that you're not swept up in this person's wrath or in this person's chaotic energy. In the work front, there will be some conflict brewing. Okay, so this is a card where you have to defend yourself, where you might not agree on a values basis. You might not be able to communicate your point across, but I feel like standing very firmly to your belief, but doing so in a more calm, collected manner, that's going to play in your favor, Sagittarius. So here is just my advice overall. You are a fire sign, and staying cool, calm, and collected is, I feel like for the majority of you, that is not an easy task for you to do, okay? It's not an easy task for you to maintain your calm. And so think about how you are communicating. Think about what people are coming in with, okay? And try to not take things personally. Be very, very objective and treat them almost as if, oh, they're asking me to help them with something. So then you can offer solid advice. I do sense a lot of people left and right coming in with their own problems, and you're going to be the one to mediate, to do damage control, as well as to try to do the right thing and to try to unruffle other people's feathers. So undo the damage is what I'm seeing here. I don't like to see this energy, but I feel like it's something coming through so that you can, strengthen your resolve. If you can defend what you believe in, I feel like that's going to go a long way in your work sector and also in your career sector. So like I mentioned before, there are important meetings, discussions, and things like that happening for this month. And staying very calm and cool is going to be in your favor, okay? So try to do this. Try to do meditation before big meetings, especially if you are, dealing with somebody who's quite combative and you're a little bit afraid or a little bit intimidated. Just make sure that you get yourself very grounded, okay? Grounding meditation prior to important meetings, that's going to be vital for you. I do see a lot of you, job interviews. Questions are being, kind of thrown at you left and right. Be very quick on your toes, but also take the adequate time to think things through. So I do feel here a lot of opportunities for going on job interviews. So for those of you looking for work, I do sense like this is a good month overall. And, I don't rarely say that. I rarely say that in Mercury retrograde periods, but I feel like overall it is a really good month for you where you can, and I'm seeing several interviews where you can stand firm in your beliefs. And I feel like for some of you, I'm seeing you have like a very diverse set of like jobs that you've done on your resume. So your resume is a little bit scattered and you feel like, oh no, that's going to work against me when I have too many different different experiences, work experiences. But I feel like it's actually going to be in your favor for this month, okay? So it's really important for you to be your dynamic self and to really emphasize your versatility, because of all the different jobs, the different positions, the different companies that you've worked with, or even the different careers that you've had, okay? So that's going to actually be in your favor. So don't downplay that part about you, but, learn to try to figure out how your skills are transferable, because the employers or whoever is interviewing you, they want to know how you can incorporate everything that you've learned into the new work environment. So as long as you're able to extract whatever you learn from that work environment, you're going to be in good hands. Okay. So, there's a lot of interaction with other people, and I feel like you're carrying yourself in a really straightforward, directed manner, honest, and also confident as well. So all the job interviews, I feel like they're panning out pretty well, but I feel like when it comes to your main career, some of you might be looking for jobs that are stepping stone jobs rather than long-term career prospects. And so I do have some opportunities coming through. It might not be, the first, second choice, but I do feel like a lot of alleviation when it comes to not being able to find work, not being able to find that work that will give you that, it's like to climb that corporate ladder or to climb that career ladder, or even be that stepping stone or launching pad for your future career. I do see you having new opportunities coming in for work, and it's going to be very reassuring for you. So if you've had blockages when it comes to money, when it comes to landing that right career, I do feel it's going to clear up for you this month. And it's ironic that it's happening in Mercury retrograde, but I feel like this might have been an ongoing, issue for the past 4 months. And so because you work very diligently at it, you're making traction for this month, okay? I'm also seeing here, especially for those who are single, a lot of new connections, love connections made through acquaintances, okay? So very, very good month overall. So these are two of my favorite cards. We have here the Six of Cups as well as the Three of Cups. So this is all about socializing, having a good time, having soulful, heartfelt communication with another person. And I almost feel like, serendipitous, fated meeting with another person that can really restore your love in humanity, your faith in love, and your faith in yourself. So Sagittarius, the energy that you bring to the table for this month, it's very strong. It shows somebody who has a lot of experience, and it shows somebody who wants to do the right thing, who wants to help other people, who wants to empower other people. And when you take that energy to your social relationships, I feel like people are really going to want to be around you. They see you as somebody who's very giving and, magnanimous and just generous. And so they're really going to want to be around you. And likewise, when it comes to making connections with new love partners and things like that, I see a lot of new people being introduced to you via your acquaintance circle, okay?